Okay, so Disney's back in the news again, and every time they're in the news, it's always for the wrong reason. So, what's going on now? There's a hostile takeover going on at Disney because we've all seen the tragedy that Disney has become. We grew up loving Disney. We grew up loving all the classic Disney movie. A lot of us grew up on the classic Disney shows. A lot of us, late teens, early adults, we enjoyed the heyday of the MCU, but Disney is a shell of what it once used to be. All they do now is push LGBT, elemental P activism, or other types of political ideology. So, the reason why this hostile takeover is happening to begin with is because Disney is losing a ton of money. Let's go over here to Yahoo Finance, look at how they've been doing on Wall Street recently, and see how much money these investors have been losing. So we can see over the last couple of decades, they were having slow growth, slowly growing, long period of time. These for long-term investors. Then right here, they get a spike. This is right around the time that Frozen came out, Tangled, those other Disney movies that made a lot of money. Then we had the MCU. This is the rise of the MCU right around the time Avengers came out, when people started realizing that this is a whole stream of movies. It's not just Hulk and Iron Man, but you're going to have a long list of movies. And that's when they start selling all types of merchandise, toys, shirts, selling a ton of movies. This is around the same time the rise of the movie theaters happened, when way more people started going to the movies on a regular basis. Their stock was growing way faster than it did over the last couple of decades. They were enjoying a lot of money. This was the boom. You had a lot of hype, a lot of craze. Then they came out extremely confident. They started investing in other properties. They bought Fox. They launched Disney Plus, which they still are losing money on. They got so confident that Bob Iger got so relaxed and so chilled that he let a bunch of woke activist freaks take over his company. So we got people like Kathleen Kennedy and other left-wing activists making the decisions over there. They were saying, well, we can put out anything. Look at how we've been growing over the last several years. We can put out anything and these fools are going to buy it. We don't care if they disagree with us or not. We're going to throw out LGBT, elemental P, feminism, and left-wing ideology right in their face, and they're going to buy tickets. Turns out that's not the case. Mattel's in trouble right now because they can't even sell toys. They got Iron Man, Captain America. They got all types of toys they can't sell because people have walked away. After Disney became so common, they started pushing all this left-wing ideology. They started being an activist company. They started worrying about diversity, inclusion, and equity. They started worrying about ESG score instead of entertainment. Look at what happened. They went up and up and up, and slowly, it took a lot of the fans a while, but slowly people started saying, I'm done with this. Because the MCU peaked at Infinity War. Endgame, it was like you had to watch it because it was the closeout, but it was a drag. The movie was long, it was a drag. But that's a different video, I can break that down. But they start losing money because of all of these bad movies. And on top of that, they flooded Disney Plus with way too much material. They threw all of these MCU shows on there, those Star Wars shows. It's just too much stuff. People can't keep up with that. And as a result of all of this stuff, they're down on money. In fact, just this year alone, they've lost over $1 billion at the box office. They put out the Marvels. They put out Wish, Indiana Jones, Haunted Mansion. All of these movies, flop, 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 flop. They can't put out a good movie. There was one movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That one barely broke even. Barely made a little bit of money. The rest of these movies, a ton of money. Just over the last month or so, between the Marvels and Wish, they lost $500 million on these movies because they spend so much money making these movies that their break-even point is extremely high, and these movies are so trash, the writing is so piss poor, and it's filled with activism that they will never ever be able to break even on those types of movies. So families are saying no thank you. Families are walking away from these movies. Families are saying we don't want to take our children to the movies and then they see some gay crap for no reason. We don't want to take our kids to the movies and then they just start talking about all types of activism and all this and that. These families are saying we never know what we're going to see. They can't trust their children sitting down watching Disney Plus without them being there because they don't know what the hell is going to come up on the screen because Disney is run by a bunch of weirdos. So people are unsubscribing from Disney Plus. They lost a ton of subscribers. Over the last quarter, they're saying they lost over $380 million on Disney Plus. They launched this thing years ago. It's been bleeding money ever since they launched it. The MCU was a big money factory. Now it's bleeding money. They can't make money for anything. They're constantly losing money. So we're going to get into this article. We're going to read a couple of excerpts from this article right here because Nelson Peltz has had enough. He's the biggest shareholder, has a couple of $1 billion, I believe, worth of Disney stock. And people like him, the shareholders, are pissed off because they were saying we were making money. We've been making money for 30 years. We've been making money. And Bob Iger, you sit here and let this company be run by a bunch of activists, and we start losing money because you're so weak. You know the right thing to do, but you're not doing it because you're weak. So let's get into this. A powerful activist investor is escalating his battle over the future of Disney in a long simmering feud with CEO Bob Iger and the company's management trying to gain 2 seats on the board. So he has an ally, a guy who used to be a finance officer at Disney, and they want to come in. They want to come in and make some major changes, like firing Kathleen Kennedy for one. But she has a lot of nepotism going on, so it seems like she's invincible. But they want to come in and try to turn things around, try to right the ship to see if their investments are going to pay off in the long run. Triumph Fund Management would nominate Nelson Peltz as founder and Jay Russolo, a former Disney chief financial officer, for election to Disney board, the investment firm said Thursday. This comes after Trian in November launched a new bid for seats on Disney board, a move the media conglomerate turned down, reigniting its battle from earlier this year. Yeah, Disney don't want these guys there. Just like they didn't want Florida being involved, how they were able to govern themselves down there in Florida in the Reedy Creek district. Disney World was able to do whatever the hell they wanted. They managed their own property, their own fire, their own police. And when they had to do inspections to report to the state of Florida, they had their own people doing that. So Florida jumped in and sent their own people. And Disney's like, no, no, no. We want our own people. We want any outsiders who are actually going to cause us to do the right thing. We just want to be able to do whatever the hell we want with no oversight. Disney over the past year has struggled mightily with a surprising number of flops. I'm not surprised at all. Looking at what we've seen in the last couple of years, they're surprised because they thought people would continue to buy this crap, but nah, not at all. Declining viewership for movies and linear television, along with massive losses in their streaming business. They're trying so hard to be like Netflix. They're trying so hard to overtake Netflix and Amazon, and they're not able to because their content is trash. Their content is absolute garbage, and it's oversaturated. Did y'all see Secret Wars? Wow, that was a complete waste of money. As Disney's largest active shareholder, we can no longer sit idly by as the incumbent directors and their hand-picked replacements stand in the way of necessary change and peers and competitors continue to outperform. So all these shareholders need to rise up against Disney because it sounds illegal what Disney is doing. It sounds like they're going against the financial best interests of their shareholders. They're damning their shareholders, saying, we don't care about your money. We're going to use your money that you've invested in the company and burn it on our left-wing politics. And if you lose money, too bad, but at least we get to spread our agenda. That's what it seems like going on. And it seems like heads need to roll for this. Shareholder-led board refreshment with focused and aligned directors who are accountable to the owners of the company is long overdue. Now let's see what Disney had to say. One of the statements they had to say to combat this. Disney has an experienced, diverse, and highly qualified board. What? This is what you're concerned about? Diversity? We have diversity, inclusion, and equity. DIE. That's what our board is. We don't hire the best people, but we make sure that we're diverse. Highly qualified, my ass. If you were highly qualified, you wouldn't lose $1 billion in 1 year on movies. You wouldn't be bleeding on Disney Plus for years. Since you launched Disney Plus, you took back all your IP from Netflix and all these other companies who had Disney movies on them, took it back, and you created all this new IP, invested all of this money, billions of dollars in the streaming app, just to be losing money after, what, 4 or 5 years? The firm also said that while it approves of the appointment of Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman and former Sky CEO Jeremy Dorich as directors as a step towards achieving objectivity on Disney boards, isn't a sufficient step. Yeah, so they're basically trying to say that the people running this company don't know what the hell they're doing. You got a bunch of activists there, and all the shareholders are losing money, and they're going to keep losing money if nothing changes. So you see here, it's talking about how Disney Plus, they're bleeding money, so they're raising the prices, which is just going to push more people away. So you're going to increase the prices and keep trash content on there. Yeah, good luck making money on that. But yeah, that's the story, and I don't know if this guy's going to be able to run his hostile takeover successfully because Disney has a lot of money. They got a lot of legal power trying to push back against this. If things do stay the same, I have zero confidence in Disney. Looking at their track record, looking at them over the last couple of years, nothing's going to change. And then what are people excited about? People are saying, oh, they're bringing the X-Men. They're bringing the Fantastic Four to the MCU. Did you hear that they're making the X-Men, the X-Women, they're making the X-Men all about the women? Fantastic Four is all about Storm, Sue Storm. The other Fantastic Four members are going to take a backseat to her, so they're just going to push feminism. And I'm pretty sure a couple of these, or most of them, are probably going to be lesbians, so they're going to push feminism and LGBT elementalism onto their viewers. So good luck with that. But to me, Disney is dead. Let me know what y'all think. Leave me your thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.